can't say no to that. Because I asked you, what did I ask you? Do I have your... You should write this down too. No. And write it down. Yep. But I asked you, that's a good iteration of it. Do I have your permission to record my side of this conversation? You do so I have another recorder that's not on this phone. That's why I have two phones. But if they say no, you're like, I'm doing so anyway. And if they say yes, you say, I was going to do so anyway, because it's legally my right to record what I say. Crazy, right? Now they realize that you're a force, and like it's going to be your stack overflowing them. And some people call it bulldozer. So you will bulldoze. So this is Operation Bulldoze. You're welcome. God, that $300 is looking like at least $300,000. And the reason you don't want to say millions and millions, which is why you don't ever go 0 to 1. Oh my God, I'm fuego right now. You need to buy Peter's book. You can't make fun of Peter's book unless you've read it at least 3 times. So this operation, 0 to 1. So this operation is called Bulldoze. This is your venture capital firm inside of UT, which you will open source and let other people CS183 what? Invest Code Not Cash had 2 related hashtags. By the way, that treasure map needs to be memorized. And I'm going to be hard on you only because you wanted to be rich. Yeah, sure. You remember the sexy fun one. You remember the sexy fun one because everyone remembers the sexy fun one. Okay. You're right. And then it was CS183 VC and then R2D2 VC. Do you remember those two? That's Invest Code Not Cash. That's Invest Code Not Cash. You need to be able to replicate at 2.2216, okay? You need to be able to replicate all 5 whiteboards. Do you see how that wasn't even a goal of yours? Do you see what I'm saying? That wasn't even on your map, pun intended. Oh my God. I'm fire right now. That wasn't even on your map, was it? Right? It's take a picture, set it, and forget it. I own it now. I took your picture. Yeah, you don't own shit until you can memorize it. So all 5 panels need to be memorized. And you need to practice writing it out. Because you thought I was genius because I could just write it out. And it turns out I've tried to write it out 72 million times. 21 million times. Maybe 72 is an exaggeration. But I've tried to write it out 21 million times. Where it flows and the cross the chasm has a dotted cross the chasm where the chasm's fucking food. And then Connor's like, is it always fucking food? That's why people forget, because it's so fucking easy. You want to sell a car? Give people cookies and cupcakes. That's my friend Elon Musk. You want to sell a credit card using credit education? Give people a slice of pizza. And you want to sell car loans? Slice of pizza. Slice of pizza and a hug. Worley somehow loved this guy. You give him back his book to give to somebody else. Give him a hug. So the map, I gave you a treasure map. You need to memorize that treasure map. If you want, because between you and Connor right now, we think you're the breakout. But it turns out with entrepreneurship, you never freaking know. I've been doing this kind of a long time. You don't know if Connor's like doing some magic shit. So you need to be able to memorize the map. So this is Operation Bulldoze, running protocol CS183 VC, running protocol R2D2 VC. Because you don't need VC, you don't need code, or you need code. They don't have enough code, but you definitely don't need fiat. The first thing you did when something was, oh, let's go get sponsors. Getting sponsors is actually really hard. Oh, it's not that easy. I have a formula for it, but we haven't even talked about it. The 5 sponsors, I can do it in, how many words do I get? That's a question you always want to ask when you're about to pitch somebody. Be like, how many words do I get? I'm going to ask you, how many words do I get? I'll take 6. Thank you for 50, which is 5 sponsors. 2 get in free, the last 3 pay. But the free ones are complex. So the first 2 pay $20,000. If they show up, they get their $20,000 back. That's only for the first 2. The next 3, it's $20K. And then when it's sold out, that's when the real sales start. Because then they're desperate because it's worth $1 million. Like this shit. It's worth like at least 1 to 100 million if you've got a half a brain. Now they need it. And they're not just going to pay $20K. What are they going to pay? Because they're desperate. What do they pay? 5 people name your price. Right? And they'll just buy your whole thing. Just be like, you know what? I'm just going to buy your whole thing. Like, I'll give you 100K, but will you do another one of these? And then, will you do another one of these? Like, are you going to do another UTE week? Are you going to do another Bulldoze? Because Bulldoze VC sounds great. So how about I give you 3 mil and you do 2 of these? I did that in Miami with Booth Girls. I used Booth Babes. Me and the PayPal founders have gotten Booth Babes to put pen to paper. Have you looked at any of my Twitter feed, that fire hose? Have you seen some of the hot women that like write shit down? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not super active on Twitter. I didn't realize the physics map of money is all on one person's feed. I'm not super active on Twitter. From GameStop? Yeah, so all the things that I talk about, point to any tweet, and it connects to a Ryan Cohen maneuver. That's CS183E. That's lecture 19, CS183E. That's Ryan Cohen. You can't be more ROTJ than Ryan Cohen is from Chewy. Is this crazy shit? And lecture 19, Engineering 145, personal business plan. I'm going to unload Chewy to Amazon. I'm going to network at Amazon. And then I'm going to find a piece of turd to turn around. I would just do Bulldoze for GME related shit. You're welcome. Fuck, dude. You will always remember Larry Chang. I will, depending on how thankful you are, I might actually forget you. Loop Ring. Do you know Loop Ring? say thank you. So I'm not big on Twitter is a thing that you'll never say anymore. Okay, like that's what you will say is I found the map for all of money in one dude's feed, Larry Chang's feed. Like Ryan Cohen has 60 tweets, or I'm sorry, 69 tweets, or 71 tweets, whatever it is. Scary that I know that, right? Or not scary? Impressive? Okay. Well, also because like I dropped that much other knowledge that like this knowledge is almost basic at this point, right? So all those 71 tweets expands into 500 to 20,000 tweets. In fact, point to a Ryan Cohen tweet and I'm going to kill 14 birds with one stone. This is your venture. That's an easy one. It's macros broken. And so my whole feed, literally every tweet answers that problem. Thank you for picking an easy one. That's actually 100%. Wait. That's actually 100%. That's actually 100%. Like the first tweet that you picked, I'm batting literally 1,000. Because what he said is a problem, but it turns out it's kind of been a problem for a long time. And I put in a photo of an attractive girl that I'm with to water down the truth that I'm about to like pee on people's head is, some like cryptic CS tweet, which you get to unpack because you have CS. Okay, so my mentor, Mark McCormack, he thought 90% you've already done and 90% already exists. You just need to do the last 10%, which is why I asked you question number 1. What was question number 1 from me to you? Good job. A fucking plus. So it's not even for you, the last 10%. That hashtag is LC9090I. That's the Mark McCormack. You've already done 90%. 90% already exists. You just need to connect up the last 2 when you're DJing APIs. DJ like disc jockey. API like application protocol interface. Yeah. And so that's what Ryan Cohen's doing. That's what Ryan Cohen's doing. By doing loopring API calls with Daniel Huang and hiring him so that way he can bring in Devin Finzer's OpenSea. OpenSea? Yeah. Devin Finzer's OpenSea. So it's OpenSea, but bigger on GameStop. And that's why people talk about GameStop being the next Amazon, because he's doing API call arbitrage. You want another $30 billion? This is what all losers do. I just gave you $30 billion in value. And if you collect 340 million, okay, that's a pretty good start. And then what was the first thing that you did? No. Nope. Asking questions is fine. You diversified. You didn't diversify, you diversified. because you were in school. You made it worse. So you took the good thing that you got and you made it bad. And that's called self-destructive tendencies that women also do in spade. And millionaire, billionaire dudes. They're like, I used to be happier back when I was poor. Let's try to kill myself. Physics. It's so perfect that you're really, yeah. So that's the first thing you did after I gave you a $30 billion piece of value. 30 billion, sorry, 300 billion. You should have said thank you. You said, what else is there that's like that? Because you wanted to water it down. And do you see how expand on a prior makes me alpha of alphas? Because my favorite question is, can you repeat that? And not to keep pounding on quantum computing professor who didn't know his class number, but he started to sense that I was both dumber than him and smarter than him at the same time. And that caused his brain to explode. Because I was constantly asking expansion on a prior. So you're going to give as a gift. I'm looking forward to seeing your notes versus my notes as I'm actually talking during my notes. Because when you see my notes, you'll realize that there's an inordinate amount of proof as to why I'm rich. Because of yesterday's explosion on the board, controlled explosion, with the request, will you memorize that board? If you don't memorize it, you lose it. This is the gift. You will gift to UT this student Operation Bulldoze. Bulldoze VC. That's a gift. What are they going to do with it? They're going to fuck it up. Just like they're fucking up my UTE week, right? It's 3 days. Are you kidding me? Do you think they're going to take UTE week and make it into a month and then just really celebrate like every chairman of UTE week? Like, no one has any idea the prior genius shit that was done. There's no recurring franchises. Recurring franchise. A recurring franchise is every year Andreessen Horowitz comes. That's a recurring franchise. Or, oh, this is the favorite part of South by is the opening night. There's no recurring franchises, right? That's okay, because you're going to keep the portion that you care about, which is the loop ring API call arbitrage. I think so, right? Right? It's physics. It's a compression algorithm. Okay. We're in the future, and you made this summer 300 grand. Next summer, when do you graduate? After 3 years. Still on campus or in Austin? Okay. So you'll take your piece of paper and leave campus. Okay. And then what if the ML company wants you to leave Austin? What are they gonna pay you? What? What's the base amount? You're kind of getting lowballed, but that's fine. Is the in what? Yeah, but why are they lowballing you again? Well, the 160K stock, is that per year, or do you have to work 4 years to get? Yeah, fuck, you're getting so lowballed, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because that's your base camp, and this is so sketchy, but it's so hilarious. I'm the guy who taught CS majors how to ROTJ. Yes, right on cue. Lecture 19. You can retire on the job from this job and then go get another job, but you just can't use LinkedIn. So what happens when you retire on the job? You could go get another piker job, because it turns out pikers literally do no work. Like, I could do everybody's work in the entrepreneurship arena at UT in like about 16 minutes per month. Why? Well, why? But also why? Because why am I faster though? Okay, but when I'm shipping, how do I ship faster? How do I get 60 hours a day? Because you're wrong about the 24. How do I ship faster? I ship code, not cash. Like, all these things a computer could do. Like, you're the ML guy, and you're like thinking hand curated everything. Is that crazy? And that's why that nothing of what you said had anything to do with external deliverables. Nothing of what you said had anything to do with external deliverables. That's what I mean by ship, is it's an external deliverable. Everything that you said was an internal deliverable. Fuck those up at your own peril. Know that there's two types of work that matters, external deliverables, and work that has zero matter on anything, internal deliverables. So after this ML job and you ROTJ, what's ROTJ stand for? Exactly, retire on the job. You can start at another ML company and retire on that job too. Then you can start a company and then run it so well that you retire on the job from a company that you control. Am I blowing your brain right now with lecture 19? Book, chapter, verse. This is your plan. So you're going to give to UT a gift. What is that gift called? Yeah, good job. Oh, I'm such a good mentor. You're welcome. UT, yeah, so you give it to them, and then what splice do you keep? The loop ring VC. Yep. The Loopring API arbitrage. I love that. I love that a lot. Oh, fuck. This is the second time. This is the second time you've imposter complexed. What kind of minority are you? What's your ethnic background? Do you know that Indian people have the worst imposter complex ever? Well, it's maybe second worst. Like, why are you self-mutilating, self-defeating, self-destructing? Because you haven't made money on this yet. You're just trying to diversify. This is the second time you've tried to diversify. And what did I say about trying to understand patterns? Yeah, so what part do you do to ship? Good job. Good job on the PI thing, though, by the way, which makes you self-destructing even more unforgivable because you're trying to do pattern recognition. So what did I tell you to ship? And what mistake are you making? You never do the pattern recognition. Never, 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 never. Yeah, you never do that. I circled it to not do. Do you see why, like, you spent nothing? Because that right there is that's all the kit and caboodle. You never, never, never do pattern recognition. Never. If you're gonna ship, you gotta just do PI, where you delegate the PR to a mentor. A third time, Loopring, the API call. My dog's dreaming. You hear him? Tom Brady's going down the field, and his little puppy paws are too short to throw the ball 60 yards. So he's going to have to throw the ball, and he's going to have to go run the ball. And he's barking out play call plays. Which brings us back to Loopring, the API call arbitrage. Now what? You gave UT a gift. They said, fuck you very much. Which is how they say thank you, by the way. Now what? Yup, you would pattern iterate to what? No, yeah, but yes, sort of. So Loopring is dying right now on the vine. Problem. Yeah. It's at $1, dude. It's close to death. Yeah, close. 320, 380, 345. Problem. LRC is in the chasm right now. What chasm? What's this chasm called? The innovation chasm. What books did you order? Did you order all the books of my derivative work from Cross the Chasm from the Right? And why would you? But you should also have it, because based on your self-destruction, your imposter complex is going to hit pretty hard. And so at least you'll have read each book once while you memorize panel, we'll call it panel 4. So, problem, LRC is in the innovation chasm, like it's dying. Solution, what's the solution? There you go. There you go. And how are you going to do this? With what? Yeah, but how are you? Yeah, but how are you going to do this? No. What's the thing that is so basic? You're like, what the fuck? There you go. Do you see how like you can't teach this because you can't even give it to me as I'm asking you questions, pulling it out. So it's see it, do it, teach it. And you're not even at the, well, actually, you kind of are at the see it part. You're not at 90/90i, okay, you're at like 99 and 96 with a large dose of self-destruction. And to be racist, yet race profile, imposter complex. Because Asian people have it pretty bad. I should know because in a past life, I used to be Chinese. Can you tell I'm the whitest white person ever now? Or you cannot. Only white people do this. This type of mentorship for no reward. Yeah. Because white people are wired right, and Chinese people. I don't know why. And I know that that's incendiary, but like, it's true. Like, after a speaking event, all the white people say thank you. Not all the white people, by you speak to 1,000 people, 100 people. You speak to 100 people, no, 1,000 people. And 6-7% will say thank you. And of the people who said thank you, it's 98% white people. I don't know why. I mean, that's why AI, ML formulas, they're all racist. Because they don't see color. They just see behaviors. Which is why now math is racist, right? You've seen that, right? Or you haven't. It doesn't matter. So you have to combat a future amount of imposter complex. Like, what if you make $1 billion doing this shit? Right? What do you think GameStop's going to be stock-wise? Relax, play, you're done taking notes, okay? You're done taking notes because your brain's about to explode. Like, literally, your brain's literally going to explode. There you go. There you go. So how many shares do you have? How many shares do you have? It's a simple question. Okay, so let's say each share becomes $200,000, okay? And then you're arbitraging Loopring API calls, okay? I don't see $1 billion as being outside of the realm of possibility. I also hate that number because all $1 billion is how many millions? Do you know a lot of people don't know that answer? Try it sometime. Try it. My success rate, I knew you knew it because it's fucking, I would say It's not even simple math, dude. It's the simplest of math. It isn't even simple math. It's beyond simple. You should ask people. You should ask people in college. You should ask people how many thousands are in a million. That's the play. That's like, we're gonna play and fuck around with people, because I'm sorry for your self-destruction and I'm sorry for your imposter complex, but this is how to combat that. Is you actually deserve this money because you know how many thousands are in a million. That's pretty funny, right? It's totally different, right? It's like, oh my God. So that's chapter 10, which you guys didn't ask, which is interrogation. It's all on YouTube, #CH1, but chapter 1 is you're damned if you do go to Stanford Business School and you're damned if you don't go to Stanford Business School. 2 is treasure management. It's all on a YouTube video. I'll tweet it at you. Oh, here we go. Treasure map. You're welcome. God. So, in the same way that you asked, can you go over the things? Chapter 2, treasure management. In the same way that, what did you say about Twitter? I'm not big into it, or I'm not hip to it, or what'd you say? I'm not active on it. There you go. I'm not active on it. So what is your goal for Twitter? I told you your goal, but I gave it to you for free. What is your goal on Twitter? Nope, definitely not. Nope. Yeah. And how much money has Twitter made for you now? I gave it to you. Nope, I gave it to you. I gave it to you and you lost it, which is why this is the second time I'm asking, what is your goal on Twitter? Yeah, too broad. Like, I need language that blows people's brains. Because once the mapping, I gave up part of it. Do you hear what I said? Yep. Close. Yeah, exactly. But if you don't write down these 4 words together, which is why I always say, how many words do I get? Because while they're trying to be fuck you, you get 1 word. If they give me 1 word, okay, what do I say? #CH2. No, #CH2. Because if you only let me have 1 word to explain it, I'm just going to give you a hashtag. You want me to repeat that? Yeah, because fuck you, you can sell me on 1 word. You said 50 words, which is generous, right? So when somebody's generous to you, you say, you know what, I'll just take 6. Boom. Live action treasure map. That's your goal on Twitter. Live action treasure map. What did you say? I'm not big on Twitter. Yeah. Now it's what? Now it's see it, like it, write it, do it. See it, like it, write it, do it. Oh, I'll just do it. I'll just do it later. Do you see how you didn't see it, like it, write it, do it? I'll do it. I'll do it later. When does do it later get done? Gets done never. I'll just do it. Gets done never. That equals never. See it, like it, write it, do it. You'll be putting these things together in a live action treasure map. And you'll be saying the phrase live action treasure map as much as you're saying, oh, you're so fucking welcome here. Invest code, not cash. Because my GitHub is Twitter. My Stack Overflow is Twitter. Because I use Twitter for what it was, just like Planecast. It's an RSS feed, annotated. It's an RSS feed, annotated. That's what Twitter is. It's an RSS feed, annotated. With money. With money. That's my Stack Overflow. That's my GitHub. So you need to see it, you need to like it, you need to write it, you need to do it. And they're connected via hashtags. So you will be mining fiat connected via hashtags. You'll be mining fiat. Larry, this sounds like I could just do it. I'll just do it, which is shipping never. By doing this the long way, I've explained what guacamole is. It's seemingly detailed and stupid and extra work, but all this work is momentum. As I take a deep bow of physics and energy, because the momentum is EUTWM ppm. Is this some crazy shit? And do you see how this is not my first rodeo with doing a loop ring turnaround? Because Ryan's actually doing a shitty job doing the loop ring turnaround. Okay, before you... Oh, I know so. I know so. I know so. Ryan doesn't have a CS degree. Ryan hired his wife's brother, Matt Finstrom. He's hiring a dev, which is a mistake because you need to be your own dev. But that's okay. He's not doing a good job right now. You could do a better job. API call arbitrage. Before you had a question, did you want to go to that question or what did you want to ask? To what? You don't have any questions? So the API call arbitrage, Uber. You said Uber. I'm going to tie this in a loop ring in a second. You know what? I won't tie it in a loop ring in a second. I'm going to give you the Uber call arbitrage and you... Oh, really? Do explain. Okay. 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 So what's genius about that? Yep. Yep. They're investing code, not cash. They're also sell it first, then buy it. You want me to repeat that? Okay, sell it first, then buy it. Or at least then rent it. Your understanding is at the HBS level and GSB level. Prepare to have your knowledge compression algorithmed. So I started the Uber API a year and a half before Chris Saad got there. Chris like Christopher, Saad, 2 A's. Why? During Uber car, booking a Lincoln Town car, it was called Uber Cab. People would say, call an Uber, call an Uber, call an Uber. Uber problem. What was the problem in call an Uber? A more basic problem. Well, remember, they're crossing the chasm from the right. So they had a problem that wasn't those two problems. Because those two problems actually weren't that bad. You can only call an Uber without a phone number. And so people didn't know that you had to download an app, because in order to get an Uber, you had to download an app on an iPhone 1 in 2009. So guess that now that makes sense, right? What did my friend Steve Jobs use via my friend Spencer Shobin? What did he use to sell music shit? Music, iPod, iPhone. By the way, U2 and Bono, okay? Bono would be taking notes better than you. Bono's a VC too. Bono's notes would be better than your notes. So whatever your notes, what are legendary, Bono's notes during this phone call would be better. And he would be listening better than you, which is actually pretty hard. Am I blowing your brain right now? Bono's sound checks are better than a regular person. Me giving a keynote, TED Talk, TEDx room, closet 2216. Is that a funny joke? TEDx? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so it was TEDx room 2216, right? Like a sub franchise. Because nobody was there and nobody knew about it. It's like TEDx, my bathroom, right? Uber, I gave them a phone number. So if you called 1-415-720-8500, I would text you back a referral code and where to download an Uber app. That was another hashtag that the Four Seasons used. What hashtag is that one? Four Seasons. It was from last night. You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you kind of know what I'm talking about? I'm not great at hashtags. Might as well translate to what? I don't want all this free money that you handed me that's attached and connected and coded to a hashtag. So just like batches of code can run, that's what a hashtag is. It's a hashtag play call play protocol, which the Four Seasons used with a PhD student who made his first million named Dr. Mikey. Ringing any bells? It was Gmail, remember? Remember? No? It's CS183 app DL. CS183 APP DL. So I provided the text interaction with the Uber app before you downloaded the Uber app, while I made $60 per new passenger. And do you see how these API calls, in the Uber API, like, dwarfs the knowledge? Because I front ran and executed, right on cue, LABCS 3366, live action business case study 3366. So my friend Travis came to speak to athletes at Stanford University during training table. So problem, Stanford athletes would watch TV, zone out, and eat. Well, why don't you get your dinner that's free? Instead of watching TV, I'll bring one of my founder friends by. That's how David Rorsheim became a billionaire. Is this crazy shit? He's like, I'll go to Larry's thing. He quit being a VC and he joined Uber because Dave sponsored. He's a billionaire because of that. Like, I can make more people a billionaire with like cookies and cupcakes than most venture capital firms because I invest code, not cash. And I DJ APIs. So then Chris Saad got hired. What's the live action business case study, which is hashtag LABCS 3366? What's the next thing I'm going to say? What's the thing that you're currently... How much was I making per new... How many $60 leads did... How many $60 leads did I get? Guess. A shit ton. To the point where I was like, you're giving me too much money. You need to do your own API. They're like, nope, we're not doing a phone number. We just have a 5-digit short code. And that's how to do what Duck9 does without having to hire Duck9. That's Elon open sourcing his patents. This is the 75th time that I've said this. And do you see how if you don't do this, the theoretical... Okay, this is what we're going to do. So you're going to cross the chasm from the right for loop ring. So that's your homework assignment. I don't care about the speaking engagement shit. And none of that really matters, right? In fact, if I speak, 20% of the room hates me. You don't have to say it. You don't have to agree with it. You love me because you've never met a person like me, and I'm not even sure you've ever had a mentor. And I kind of don't want to know, okay? I kind of don't want to know because I'm also never anyone's first mentor. But your homework, which you're comfortable with homework, aren't you? Yeah, because this is good homework, is loop ring. How are you going to arbitrage loop ring API calls? And turn around that piece of turd? Or just how do you arb API calls? By CTC FTR. or whatever tools that are at your disposal. And you will do this homework assignment because just trying it gives you an A fucking plus. You'll be doing it on 4 words, which are worth like, yeah, that's good, but what else? You're going to be building a treasure map. Good job. So you're going to be attempting to do this on what platform? Yeah. Is there a risk involved? There's zero fucking risk. There's literally zero risk in trying to be a billionaire. There's literally zero fucking risk. There's literally zero risk. I thought I was going to talk to you for 3 minutes. Somehow you got me to talk to you for basically a fucking hour. That's your homework assignment. That's your homework assignment. Do you want to tell me what your homework assignment is? There you go. There you go. And you're going to actually try and do and go back, see it, like it, do it, connect it, write it. So you'll be holding your phone, writing down a tweet, and then connecting it, and then connecting. Firing and wiring. Firing and wiring. More physics. You're firing and wiring. And you're rewiring your brain. And you're firing and you're wiring. And once you do this, like, so you trying to do this will be giving a gift to UT, because you could just give them $200,000 because you invested code in yourself, and blue pill slaves still want the fiat. Maybe $200,000 is too much. Maybe it's not enough. Sounds about right. And then that's your gift to UT. And then are they gonna build a statue in your name? How do losers say thank you? They end up saying fuck you very much. But you just get better because of it. This is how homework in the real world works. 17 seconds after hanging up the phone, you can start following up. Rich people, they don't wait 3 days to call the girl back. They get the phone number on the premises. So 13 seconds after we hang up, you can send me 79 texts. And Twitter and paper. All right, your homework's there. This is going to be your homework for not just 24 hours, but for like 20 years. If Loopring's going to be the Amazon of GameStop. This is crazy. Right? Normally I just hang up without saying bye, just the same way that I leave without saying bye. Because why am I saying bye when you can text me in a millisecond? Like, if I'm saying bye, I'm kind of saying don't text me for like a day. You see what I'm saying? Which is why I was going to just leave without saying bye. Like, Irish goodbyes are now the default. Oh, I'm laughing because I hung up and I'm now I'm now my own product.